Hello, welcome back to A Software Engineer Plays, the YouTube channel where a software engineer, that's me, plays through games designed to teach you logic and programming skills. So our current series is Human Resource Machine. Last time we were looking at the vowel incinerator, so we were getting rid of all the vowels like O, E, I, and A. That'd be the wool inknerter. So let's go ahead and jump into the challenge path here. Let's check out the Alphabetizer. So, year 36. This optional hallway is for advanced employees only. Well, I hope I count as advanced. You'll receive 2 words. One is a decoy, a false lead, a red herring. The other is part of an important message. Okay, 2 words. Determine which word comes first if you were to order them alphabetically, and send only that word out to the outbox. Okay. So, I see they've given us 0 and 10 here, which makes me think that we're going to put the first word here, and then the second word here, and then basically we just need to check the first letter, and maybe the second letter, until we get a result that is non-zero, and depending on if that result is non-zero, we will be going from there. So let's start off by getting our words into the memory banks, and we can then start working on the comparison logic. So, until we hit a 0, ooh, I just had an interesting idea. I'm interested to see. No, I don't think we can chain. I can't indirectly get 0 to 10 to spot 10. I was thinking if we could chain indirect references that we could point to 10, which would point to the spot on the floor here, but I don't think it would let us do that. Anyway, brief aside. We want to inbox, and then if it's 0, we want to jump down and start the second. If it's not 0, we want to copy to the indirect spot there, and then jump up, bump it up, and continue. We may want to make a copy of 0 and 10, just so we know where the letters start. So actually, let's do that. We'll copy from 0, put it in 20. A start. We'll call this B start. Okay, copy from 23, copy to 20, copy from 24, copy to B start. Okay. So that's good there, and then here we want to jump down to the comparison code, otherwise we can copy to 24, and then bump up 24. Okay. And jump up to there. So this will copy out the 2 words. Let's just make sure that's working as we expect. U-N-T untie, and unify. Good, okay. And she's angry with us, but now we can, using our A start and B start, we can start comparing. So we want to, first of all, pick up, so copy from A start, indirect, and subtract B start, indirect. And then if that's 0, we want to bump up A start and bump up B start, and then we jump back up to here. Okay, if it is not 0, however, it could be negative, which means we do one thing, or it could be positive, which means we outbox the other thing. So we want to, oh boy, we're gonna lose sight of our 0 and 10 again. So we need to make another copy of our 0 and 10, which is not ideal, but I wonder... Yeah, I'm not sure of any way to do this without rewriting our copy from A start and copy to 23, copy from B start and copy to. So that'll reset, we'll get another copy of 0 and 10, we'll use those to outbox. And now we need to determine here what comes in here. So here we're going to want to start outboxing word 1, or down here is word 2. The only question is, which word is what, if it's negative? So let's just get that figured out. Unfit and ununite. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and step through now. So we copy from, and we're resetting our numbers just so we can know where they start. And now we subtract these, it's 0, so we're gonna bump those up and compare the next letter. That's 0, so we bump them up, compare the next letter. Okay, so now we've got a negative, and as we know from our alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, a negative number means the top number needs to come, or top word needs to go out first. So we're going to jump down here, and now we know that this is actually the top word, and this is the bottom. Okay, so we will copy from indirect here, outbox, bump up. Oh, and this is something that's gonna be problematic because we have no way of knowing when to stop. And we may run into problems. So instead of, we want to keep a 0. We want to keep our string 0 terminated so we know when to stop. Okay? Now the bottom we want to copy from 24, but indirect, outbox. We want to jump, if it's 0, down to the end of the program. And then we jump back up to the top. Right? Oh, but we need to bump. Haha. Bump up 24. Okay, this should now work. It's a lot of jumps. But let's get our letters out here. Make sure that they are 0 terminated. We got dirt, and it is 0 terminated, and uncap, which is also 0 terminated. So now we've got a negative number. Which means we start outputting the top. So we're going to copy from and output. And start going here. Looking good, and now we should be done. Okay. Great. So we've got a small problem somewhere. Undo. Oh. Okay. That's pretty sneaky. So you see what they've done here is we're going to run into a problem now where we try and subtract a number from a letter. So we need to really check and see if we hit a number, or if we hit 0. So if we copy from A start and we hit 0, boy, this is getting slightly more complicated. Let's think about it. Tricky, tricky, tricky. I think what we can do is just initially, if we have a 0 here and we do not have a 0, oh boy. Well, obviously we need to know if that's a 0 at that point. We'll jump down to there. If it is a 0, then we want to check to see if this is a 0. Or, is that even a concern? I don't think it's a so if we have a 0, then I think we can just output the top word. If we copy from indirect B start and have a 0, then we can output here. Otherwise, we need to do the rest of it. I think that works. Let's find out. So we get unit there, and now this is going to be a perfect example because the words are the same except for that last letter on unite. So let's step through here. I'm not really sure why there's a... Oh, yep, all good. That 0 there is the end of unite. Okay, so copy there, we're reinitializing. So, U, it's not 0. We check that for 0, it's not 0. So we do the subtraction, we get 0, it is 0, so we bump these up, and now we move along. 0, bump up, not 0, not 0. 0, bump up. Not 0, not 0. Bump up. Okay, now we're going to get a 0. So we output the top word. And she should be happy with us. But how did we do in terms of size and speed? We did it in size and... Oh, we're so close on speed. Oh boy. Okay, so I think what we can do... Usually... No, in this case, outboxing here wouldn't really... Moving the outbox to the top wouldn't really help things out here. We have to somehow... Boy. I wonder if there's anything we can do to not reinitialize stuff. Once we get down to step 15 here. mean, if we step through these... I think it's got to be something down in here. But... oh, yeah, that works. Instead of here, we'll just subtract A. We'll subtract A start instead of doing that additional copy from, because we'll have B start in our hands. So the logic here will still be the same. We may have to switch our top and bottom, but I don't think so. Well, we'll find out here. Alright, that's all the words out. So now... oh yeah, I think we are going to have to switch our tops and our bottoms, but that's okay. It's easy enough. Yes. Yeah, okay. So anything that comes down here... okay, let's move... this is... that. Which has to move there. That has to move down to the top. Okay. This should now work, I think, unless I've got some of my jumps wrong, which is possible. Oops. Yes, so let's step back there. Okay. Oh. So... I see. Direct that. Oh, I hope that works. Really, what I should do is switch the top and the bottom code around, which I may still do, just to make life a little bit easier and use fewer blocks. Yeah, okay, well, we're gonna make this the top. Okay, copy from indirect 23, bump up 23, copy from indirect 24, bump up 24. Bottom. Okay, so if A start is 0, we want to outbox the top. If B start is 0, we want to outbox the bottom. That part is good to go. We don't need that anymore. We do need that to go down there, and I think now we should be good. I hope. We'll find out here after he's done spitting out the words. Okay. So now we're going to start stepping through. 0, bump them up. 0, bump them up. 0, bump them up. 0, bump them up. Okay, now we're going to hit a 0 there, which means we should output the top. UNIT. We are now finished. And we have done it in 38 blocks and 109 steps. Beautiful. Alrighty, so that's the Alphabetizer done, and it looks like we have hit a good stopping point for the day, so I will say thank you very much for watching. This has been a Software Engineer Plays. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe, and consider sharing with a friend who's also interested in learning about logic and programming. But that's it from me. Thanks again. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.